Hello, everyone. Welcome to 3Q, New Mexico's business podcast. I am your host, Pam Myers, and my wonderful, fabulous co host, Erica Yoakum. And we are here today with Kristin Woods and Sparrow. Kristin is the executive director of Wise Fool, New Mexico, and Sparrow is the director of the show that we're all here to talk about. So thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for having us today.
Go ahead, Erica.
Well, I was going to say, this is one of my favorite parts about our show is Pam finds all these great people to bring on the show, and I have to go look up the website and stuff, and I go, really? We have that? I mean, this is awesome. I didn't even know this existed until 5 minutes ago. This is brilliant. I can't wait to hear more about what y'all are doing.
Yeah. Well, thanks for having us on.
Yeah. So, Kristin, tell us, or whichever one of you would like to speak first, tell us about Wise Fool. What all about, where you're located? What do you do? What's your mission?
Great. Yeah. Wise Fool, New Mexico has been in Santa Fe for actually 24 years. We are currently located near Siler and Agua Fria, right next to Morrison. And we are Santa Fe's community circus. So we've been doing circus here in town for 24 years. We focus on social circus and social justice, and we use our art form to lift each other up and make the world a better place and build community. We do circus arts, including aerial acrobatics, juggling, partner acrobatics, unicycling. We also do a lot of puppetry in our studio, and we also are a venue in town, and we do lots of different things. We also do event entertainment around the community, so you can hire Wise Fool to come to your event or your party and bring a little bit of livelihood and color to your event. And then, of course, we are also a theater and circus company, and we produce our own shows, such as the one that we're here talking about today, which is called Beyond the Binary. And we've been doing these big shows every spring since the pandemic, before we would do them in the fall. And so this is our newest one, and we're really excited to bring it to life and to share it with our community.
Wow.
Oh, yeah. And so that's a perfect segue for Sparrow to talk about the production.
Yeah. So as Kristin said, it's called Beyond the Binary. And it's a kind of original piece that we developed in a really beautiful process of communal creation, along with the cast, who are an incredible big ensemble cast of Santa Fe and Albuquerque and Los Alamos performers, and including just a wide range of people from all different walks of life and ages. We have a kind of multi-generational production with a bunch of youth all the way through. I think our oldest performer is in their 60s. So yeah, it's kind of this community created piece. The theme of the binary, starts us off with that question of gender and kind of those boxes that human society puts us in, but pretty quickly kind of shifts more towards the world of possibility and providing a kind of beautiful and hopeful message about what the future could look like.
Right.
And of course, it's told through an incredible combination of all kinds of different circus acts, movement pieces. We have a lot of trained dancers of different styles on the cast. And also there's some acting, there's some spoken word poetry.
Wow.
And yeah, it's gonna be just like a pretty maximalist production.
Wow. How long is the production? How long does it last?
We're estimating it's around 2 hours.
Yeah. And what's your start date, and how long does it run for?
It will start next Friday, April 19th, and runs through the weekend. So there's a show at 7 on April 19th. That's our opening night. April 20th, is that Saturday, and we have a 2 p.m. matinee and a 7 p.m. evening show. And then on Sunday, the 21st, we have a 5 p.m. show.
Cool. Awesome. Yeah, that's exciting. So you do this every spring, or you make a production like this, but just every spring? Is that correct?
Well, Wiseful does a number of different productions throughout the year, but these larger, large scale professional productions, we only do once a year in the spring, correct? So, but then throughout the year, we have multiple cabarets. We also do different repertory shows that we do around the community, stuff like that. But large, 10 to 20 person ensemble cast shows are once a year in the spring.
Wow. So I'm on your website. I put the website up here really quick, and I'm on the website. And I'm looking at the schedule for like open studio and things like it's like there's so much to choose from. There are so many different classes, and you've got youth and adult, and it's like that's very cool. You've got there's a lot of stuff on your calendar.
Yes, yeah, we do a lot. We do programming daily in our studio for youth and adults. We also have a part of our programming called Circus Comes to School, where we take circus and bring it to the schools. Recently, we've been having some of the schools come to our studio too for to get some circus programming as part of their education as well. But yeah, we have after school programs for kids from 4 and up. And then we have classes daily for adults, including open studio, like you mentioned, where people can come in and practice circus and use our space to train whatever they're working on. So yeah, Wiseful does a lot. We got classes daily.
And it's a fun website. It's like a Cirque du Soleil experience just going on.
And I'm looking at that. Like, yeah, it's brilliant. And seeing like little kids on unicycles is awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. Well, one of our staff people, Alexis, just redid the website, so I'm going to pass it along to them.
Great job. Yeah, great job. There's a lot of really great pictures in here of stuff. So, this show was born of the craziness in 2020. We've been doing this for 4 years now, amazingly enough. Wow. And so how did that affect y'all? Did you? I imagine you're kind of shut down, but or not. How did you do it? And what was the primary lesson that you maybe learned, or some skill that you learned during that you now carry through and do regularly?
Great. We definitely got through, thanks to getting some support from the federal government. We were really grateful to be able to receive that because, we really had to shift a lot of our programming pretty dramatically. We've had some classes online. We also did multiple cabarets virtually online, which was fun, but was like a whole different experience than producing one in person. We kind of turned into like a little production house for a minute there, like a video production house. And then, since bouncing back, it's just been really slow to recover. The art sector is still really recovering from the pandemic in many ways. And I think that we're still seeing audiences starting to return more and more. But I think it's taken many years to kind of get back to where we were. We hope that we can continue to grow and bring more people into the circus arts over time. But it's an interesting question about what lessons we learned. I think that there's a lot of lessons that we all learned. I think one thing that I learned personally is that, whatever happens, we're just going to figure it out and get our way through this, that we all kind of were faced with some unknown challenges that nobody had the answers to. And we all figured it out, and so that was like a nice confidence boost for all of us in a way. It sounds like you all came up with some really creative ways of managing that time. It's really awesome that you guys created
and we've said that we've said that the ones who hit that roadblock and said, okay, pivot, that was our favorite word for 2020. Pivot. What do you instead of saying, okay, I'm done and shutting down, which we did see a lot of. We saw a lot of companies that just said, this is your sign, I'm retiring now, I'm out, I'm not dealing with it. But we had a lot of people figure out, what is it? What can we do to pivot and make it through and move forward and continue this, because it's so important to us. We want to make sure that it survives this craziness.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Because, I mean, unless you are, I mean, you've got social media. If you're a small business or an organization, whether you're a nonprofit or whatever, how do you get your name out there? How do you get your information out there? You can do it through social media, but that only taps a certain sector, right? And
mhm.
most cannot afford advertising in print. And so we came up with this as a way to help give businesses another opportunity.
Wow, well, that's so awesome. And thank you so much for, bringing Wiseful into the conversation and highlighting our work. We really appreciate it. And we believe in the power and magic of the circus arts to transform lives. And we really appreciate the opportunity to share some of our work. Yeah. So thanks. And thanks for all the work you're doing.
Yeah.
I
you.
gotta ask, how did you find circus arts, and how did you? I mean,
How did you come up with
that's kind of an unusual thing. That's not like, hey, let me go do Pilates. It's like, it's very different. How did
Good
that
question.
happen?
Yeah, I mean, my personal journey with circus, I think we all have an interesting story, but my story is I met somebody when I was studying abroad in Brazil, and they told me that they did juggling at this place called Fundação Progresso, and I went there and I was like, "Hey, where's the juggling?" And they're like, "We don't have juggling here. Like, we don't know what you're talking about, but we do have aerial acrobatic classes." And I was like, "I have no idea what you're talking about, but sure, like, whatever." And then I later found the juggling people, they like met outside of the building, but I did take a class and it was like the most fun I've ever had in my life. I was like giggling like a little kid. Like I was just having so much fun flying around in the air. And I just became like so obsessed with it pretty immediately. And I met another person who was in Rio de Janeiro, and he was like, we went and hung out one time after class, and he was like, I used to be a yoga teacher back in my home country, and I'm just like warning you now that like the circus arts are extremely addictive. And now I'm like here moving to Rio de Janeiro to like do circus because it's like I'm so obsessed and addicted to it. So be careful. And I sometimes think about him still because it is like a very addictive pastime. Like you just want, like once you get hooked, like you cannot stop. It's so fun. And it's just like, I've had times where it's like all I can think about because the circus arts are just so powerful. They're so fun. They're the perfect amount of challenging. Like there's always something else that there's always a new goal or a new thing that you're working on. But everything is really fun. And the circus is so much about our community. And the circus community is just like an incredible group of people. And it's nice because people come in from out of town and come into Wiseful to train, and they automatically have like new friends, and it's really nice to like have them come into our studio and build community with us. And so the circus arts are multifaceted but like extremely addicting.
Wow.
Great.
And with a hint of magic dust thrown in there, I think, too.
Absolutely.
Well, yeah, if you're gonna be up there defying gravity and stuff, those of us earthbound folk are up there. It definitely looks like magic. Definitely.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Anything you want to add to the listeners about anything that you're...
Well, if we're talking about Beyond the Binary, I think that it's worth mentioning that this show is going to be an incredible combination of circus arts and other art forms, theater and dance. I think it's going to be really spectacular and breathtaking. We have some more traditional circus stuff coming up in the show, like a stilt walking act. We have an aerial ladder. We also have hair hanging, but we also have
I do not understand that at all. Like,
You'll have to come see it. It's incredible.
Wow.
Yeah, and I would just say it's been such a wonderful time working with Wiseful for this production. I've been a big fan of Wiseful since I was a child, and done a little bit of things with them here and there. And this is my first opportunity to kind of come in and direct a full show and create this production for and with all of the incredible like Wiseful community. And it is, it's going to be pretty spectacular. We're not just focused on the actual physical human beings doing cool stuff aspect of it, but we're also building a lot of kind of art pieces and costumes that are wild and crazy for it as well. My kind of background was up until very recently as a middle school art teacher. And so I'm really used to creating large scale projects out of like cardboard and duct tape. And so for this production, I have like recruited a whole team of young artists to help build, a coral reef out of trash and, recycled whales and all kinds of things like that.
Oh, great. I love it. I already have my tickets. Can't wait to see it.
Oh, you already have your tickets. Look at, she's like, I'm there. All right.
That's a good idea too, because it's looking like it's going to sell out. So you can buy your tickets on the website. Yeah.
Okay,
awesome.
So for the tickets that are left, people can go to wisefoolnewmexico.org.
Yep.
Sign up. I love the countdown clock. That's a really good idea because people go, oh, there's only 9 days left. Right. And they get excited. Right. That's a very cool thing.
Good idea. Right.
Yeah. It builds that anticipation. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you so much for coming on and sharing the information about what you're doing. It's really exciting.
Like I said, had no idea y'all even existed. So I'm glad we can get the word out, spread the word, and let people know. Well, obviously, they know you're there. You've been there for 24 years. I'm just I'm crawling out from under my rock and finding out that you're there. So thank you for sharing with us.
Yeah, thank you. And yeah, it's never too late to run away with the circus, right?
Love it.
So, I'm on high school.
Thank you so much. Thanks everybody for listening. Please keep listening to our podcast.